Hoping to find some clues to the rules which govern beauty, Stephen Marquardt went out and asked people who worked in the beauty industry.
I just started canvassing different people that I knew in those industries, and it was pathetic. I couldn't believe it. Nobody knew what beauty was.
Nobody knew?
Nobody could understand it. Everybody had a different idea. Everybody had an opinion about what beauty was, and a lot of people's opinion was it's kind of a ethereal oneness with the universe, if you will. And when they told me ethereal oneness with the universe, it's like, hey, whoa, wait a minute, I'm a surgeon. That's not going to help me out. So I kept looking.
Stephen wanted to see if people could agree on anything about beauty, so he did his own study. He got photographs of 18 very different women, and then asked people from all over the world to say which they found more and less attractive.
We had people rank these 18 faces according to what they thought was most attractive to least attractive. And they found the faces up here most attractive. Then as we came down here, they found them less and less attractive until we get down in this area, when they found them barely human looking. Some of these patients were taken out of medical textbooks that were published years and years ago, and today no one would ever get this bad before they were treated. And these are all real people. They're all women between the ages of about 14 and 24 to 30. This is the entire range of human visual appearance of the faces, and we try to include everything in our study. And astoundingly, everybody in the world, within about 97%, ranked these 18 photographs exactly the same. We thought people from Asia would have a different concept, and it was very consistent all through the world. It didn't make any difference whether somebody was 4 years old or 80 years old. They ranked them the same. It was just astounding.
What this study suggests is that there are some things we can all agree on, some universal rules of beauty. So what are some of these universal factors that hold true for all beauty? Let's start by looking at babies.
Babies seem to generally be considered very attractive. So I started studying babies' faces, and I wondered if there was an ideal face for a baby, and it turned out there is. There is an archetypal face, not only for the adult, but there is one for the infant, too.
But baby's beauty is quite different from adult beauty. This baby looks wrong, doesn't he? It's because he's got an adult face on a baby's body. For some reason, the medieval artist Giotto didn't give this face a baby's proportions. Babies judged attractive tend to have plump cheeks, rosebud lips, and enormous eyes, all scrunched up together in the center of the face. It's these proportions that release our protective instincts. Ah.
Now that is beautiful. Oh, does he hunt?
No.
Good, because I can't wait to protect him.
It's that helpless, nurture-me look that men eventually learn is what makes babies attractive. What's certainly true is that good-looking babies often stay good-looking.
Out of earshot, I could hear people, the grown-ups saying, oh, he's very good-looking, he's just like his father, he's just like his mother.
When was that? When do you remember that?
I think I was probably 4, 5. He didn't understand it, but there was something about your look. There was something that was right about you.
Crystal's here today from Playhouse.
Look at these teenagers. The baby face features, large eyes, rounded cheeks, and full lips are still judged attractive, but a lot's changed.
They become attractive in a different way, not in a parental nurturing way, but in a sexually attractive way for a mate.
When did you realize that you were beautiful?
I realized that other people thought I was beautiful. Around 13 or 14, I started noticing that the behavior of others around me changed.
If we're talking about female beauty and standards of female attractiveness, the two largest predictors are youth and health.
Dr. David Buss studies human mating behavior.
Things like clear skin, smooth skin, full lips, because lips, most people don't know this, lips get thinner as you age, and so full lips is a sign of youth, also a sign of health.
Marquardt suggests there may be an age range of maximum beauty.
There's a certain window during our life when we're most attractive, particularly women, and that's about between the ages of 14 and 24. That's they start menstruating at 14, they're ready to reproduce, and that correlates and coincides with their highest window of attractiveness, physically and particularly facially.
I don't think that's true at all in girls or boys, as it happens, because it's a different, it's a sweet, puppyish sort of prettiness when you're very young, but you know, it doesn't really move you. I don't think it's sweet.
Stop there, if you please, Mr. Merg. Have you had surgery, Mr. Merg?
No.
Do you have scars of any kind?
No.
Wipe off your lipstick. That's much better. Now turn around for me. Oh, very nice. You move well. Tell me something. How old are you, Mr. Merg?
15?
Holy Mother of God.
I think I got prettier in my late 20s, certainly, than in my early 20s. Whereas, you know, convention would have it, you look at your best when you're 17, then go off the boil from then on.
Scientists, however, suggest that although there may be individual differences, basically youthful features advertise sex. Sex, of course, advertises products. This is Zara, who, you'll remember, was plucked out of obscurity to be a new fashion model. Zara's now much in demand, but why? What is it about her face that people find so compelling? The scientist, Dr. Stephen Marquardt, thinks he knows.
The question is going to come up for you with people, what is attractive about you? You are attractive, and people will tell you you're attractive. And the reason you're attractive is you have the components of both the adult beautiful face and the baby's beautiful face, which is really interesting. It's very unusual. What it does is incorporates not only the adult beauty of the high cheekbones and the pretty nose, nice shape, and a nice forehead, a nice jawline, but also the slightly retruded chin and the Cupid's bow upper lip. She has a very short upper lip like a baby, and a Cupid's bow upper lip like a baby, and the retruded chin of a baby, and the lower jaw features of an infant, which is very attractive, combined with the adult features of the high cheekbones, pretty nose, beautiful skin. See?
Okay.
Boy, you are just hitting on all 6 cylinders, aren't you? Oh my God. Would you just smile for me one time? Just once. Yeah, you see you got a short upper lip. Makes for a much nicer smile.
He's actually shown that it all goes back to a proportion that the ancient Greeks knew about, Pythagoras knew about, and Fibonacci worked out what it is numerically, 1 to 1.618. And the extraordinary thing is, for example, that if you are beautifully proportioned, then the distance from the top of your head to your navel is 1.618. If you multiply that by 1.618, it's the same as the distance from your navel to your feet, which is very weird. And that's the same for the proportions of the joints of the fingers. So it's actually extraordinary. It's in flowers, it's in the shells of snails. And I was telling this to an editor, and the editor said, well, don't you realize that it's the proportions of a frame of film? I said, what? He said, it's 1 to 1.618. So this proportion is out there, and this guy has constructed a kind of grid based on triangles and pentagons that are all 1.618. And he put that on a beautiful face, like Elizabeth Hurley would do it, and it fits it perfectly.
All right, boys. I want you to rig up something like this. Should give the proper uplift ratios while reducing the need for additional torque support on the front. We are not getting enough production out of Jane Russell's breasts. All right, I want smooth titties, gentlemen. Smooth titties. That's Oh, an engineer.